listening to the 10 Questions with the Musical Mind podcast with your host, Peter Harris.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of 10 Questions with the Musical Mind. I am Peter Harris, your host. Today, I have a brief interview I conducted just this past weekend with producer extraordinaire Michael Wagener. We did this interview at the second annual Rock and Pod Expo in Nashville, Tennessee. And what follows is Michael came in and we contacted each other before and arranged a brief time to sit down and chat. He had a full schedule ahead from 11 to probably 6 or 7 that night, just doing interviews, podcasts with lots of different shows. So he was very generous with his time. And he sat down with me briefly and we discussed a few aspects of his career, his philosophy, how he likes to create albums, what he likes, what he doesn't like, and just sat down. So there is, of course, the usual background noise. We're in a room of about, 1,000 people, but I think it's a pretty enlightening interview. He gave some good insights as what he does. So sit back and enjoy, and hope you learned something.
First of all, thank you, Michael, for taking the time to answer some questions with us. I appreciate it.
Sure.
A couple general questions about your recording career and that kind of thing. As a producer, how did the transition to Pro Tools really affect you over
Not at
time?
all, because I'm not using it.
So are you still going analog, or?
I'm using Windows.
Okay, gotcha.
But there was not really a transition because I've been using digital since 1980.
Oh, really? That early? Okay.
First machine that came out, and I don't like tape.
So you were extremely ahead of the curve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I could see not wanting to do that splicing of 2-inch tape and.
No, it's just A, it smells bad. B, it doesn't sound good to me. So when digital came around, to me that was like, yay, I do that.
Well, that's good to know. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And you're known for getting great guitar sounds in your albums. Obviously, you're a player. Yeah. But from the albums I've heard you do, do you think that's more a matter of the people you work with? Do you help alter their sound, or are you just good at capturing it?
Guitar sound to 90% comes from the player.
Right.
It's
Because
all-
obviously
all
George
in
Lynch
the
sounds
player's
far
hand.
different from somebody else, right?
Right. And if you just try to get that across.
Right.
Every player, as long as they're good, they have a certain style, a certain way to transmit the sound, and just capture that and you're done.
Right. But it's you that brings out how well it sounds. Because I've heard, I'm going to take an example outside of you, but the early Van Halen demos that Gene Simmons recorded sound nothing like what Ted Tippleman got out of it. So obviously you as
You can
producer,
still hear it was Van Halen.
you can still hear that,
That's what I'm talking about.
but you bring a lot better sonic quality to it.
Yeah, I think I transmit better what the people are playing.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, that's a perfect answer. When you're producing or mixing, but mainly producing, do you prefer to work with a newer band who's more open to suggestions, or an established band who kind of knows what they want?
Either way, but I like newer bands quite a bit because they're more open to experimentation.
Okay.
Bands that are already established, they have their established way. It doesn't mean I don't like working with them.
Right.
But newer bands are more open to experimentation.
Yeah, that makes sense. Being you were already so immersed in the world of like hard rock and metal, when you mixed Master of Puppets, did Metallica at that time, they'd already had the 2 albums previous to that, but did they strike you as a revolutionary band, or was it just sort of an evolution?
I don't think it was revolutionary. There was definitely a feel that this was a great album.
Right.
I did not know that it's going to be this big.
Right.
Ends up in a Library of Congress and all that.
Right.
But it was definitely, this is a good album. But you never know when you do it.
Right. I guess, yeah, nobody really knows.
Hindsight, yeah.
Hindsight, but when you're making it, they don't know what's going to be Led Zeppelin 4,
Right.
Nevermind, Master
Right.
Puppets. It's hard to say that, right? What's your opinion of the real common thing now, especially for iTunes and all that, the brick wall compression?
Absolutely not. I don't care if it's iTunes or anybody else in the world. No, there's absolutely no.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Music is dynamic, and I've never done it. I will never do it, and I hate it. Actually, I call it white noise with vocal tone.
It's awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it because I've heard a few albums recently, and I'm like, thank goodness. I think I can hear the separation between the instruments again. I'm tired of hearing everything up to 10, and it's, so that's good.
And now in Europe, they started this thing where the whole loudness thing is over. They're pushing it down. If you make it super loud, they take it down 12 dB.
Okay.
And then your stuff sounds like crap because it's all super compressed.
Right. Yeah.
No, I hate it. And you can print that. I hate it.
Oh, I'll print. Yeah. Now, as far as your studio, Wire World, do you have to update it much because technology changes fast? Is it mostly like software changes or updates?
What do you mean by update?
Like, do you ever have to, like, a few years go by, like, oh, I need to change this console out, or this is getting obsolete, I need to upgrade to this computing system?
No, that getting obsolete is mostly a makeup of people that want to sell something. I have the gear that I like and that I like in forever, and I don't go and get something that everybody goes, oh, you got to have one of those. I don't care about that. I use what I like, and I like the sound of it. And software gets updated once in a while, but that's not that big of a deal.
Sure.
It's mostly like maintenance updates, but I don't have the latest newest thing.
Right.
Once you get to a point where you have all the stuff to make a great record,
right,
that'll do it.
As long as it does everything you need it to do. Yeah.
Right.
When you're producing an album, how personally do you get involved with, like, helping to arrange the material?
As much as I need to.
Okay.
Some bands, I don't need to get into the arrangement at all. Like with Ariel, most stuff is done.
Right.
And other bands, need a little bit more. With Skid Row, we have like 2 weeks of pre-production.
Really?
Where all this is being,
right,
talked about.
And I guess that's one of the things when a more established band probably knows this needs a middle eighth section and this doesn't, and this has a...
Yeah, to a degree, yeah.
Okay. And I guess to wrap up, any new projects you have in the works now that...
Ariel is what we're working on right now. We're doing a full-length album.
Excellent. Yeah.
And it's a little bit different from what I did before.
Okay.
It's more like a classic, classic folk rock.
Classic folk rock, okay.
She's an amazing guitar player, singer. And it goes along those routes and still has harder stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like electric guitar solos and stuff like that.
Neat.
Wonderful.
I'll be sure to check it out, yeah.
Skid Row is next, but in the end of the year.
Excellent. Great. Well, that's wonderful. I certainly appreciate you taking the time. I know you've got a
Sure.
full place, so I'm going to let you get situated before you go on to your next segment. But
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Michael.
Sure.
It was a pleasure. Good to meet you.